Everyone, I want to thank you all and welcome you, and thank you for standing up for democracy. Now, we don't always bring out American flags for events like this, but today we have, because I want Donald Trump to see them. They are a reminder of who we are and where we live. We are Americans, and this is America. This is a country governed by democratic principles, and the firing of the Attorney General is the beginning of a constitutional crisis, the likes of which this nation has not seen since Watergate. For any American who believes in truth, justice, democracy, and our constitutionally provided for rule of law, this is unacceptable. This president has only deepened the divisions in our nation, not bridged a divide. Now, after this divisive election, a real leader would call on Americans to come together, to put differences aside, to find common goals. But this president seems poised to end a lawful inquiry into possible misdeeds by himself and his administration. It is a shocking abuse of power. And who is he going to blame for it? He's going to blame the media. Let's be clear. Journalists are not the enemy of the people. They are our neighbors. They are members of our community. They are our friends. Now, I know the 2018 campaign was exhausting, but now is the time to fight for our democracy. Are you all ready to fight? I hope you'll stand with me and fight. Thank you all so much for coming out today.
All right, everybody. All these speeches were really important. I needed them. I hope they helped clarify what you know, what you feel, and how we're going to approach the coming weeks and months. They reminded me of living through the Bush v. Gore recount, and one of the things that was happening there is there was a recount happening, and the Republicans knew they didn't want to see the answer. We didn't want to see who actually won the votes. So they had unruly people threaten and intimidate the counters, and they fought in the courts. And our side didn't fight as hard. And years later, turns out we won that vote. But it doesn't matter if we don't show up and we don't defend our institutions, defend our election process, and work in the courts. And I know we have thousands of incredible advocates working on behalf of Democrats and on behalf of our side in the courts and on behalf of this country. But it is going to take us. It's going to take us and hundreds more. Everyone who couldn't make it tonight, spread the word. This is just the beginning. So, I don't know how relevant this is to everybody else, but it's been such a tough season. We've put everything on the table for this election, and it is hard to absorb the exhaustion and keep going. And what I've come to is something that democracy is a practice, and defending democracy is not something we're ever going to be done with. As long as there is greed, as long as there's corruption, as long as there are other powerful nations who wished that there was no democracy in their country, and they'd like to squash the flame in every country in the world to extinguish the hope and the promise that democracy has. And we're the guardians of that. And we don't have a Senate that's going to defend democracy. We don't have a president that's going to defend democracy. But we have millions of us. So it's on us now.